Shalom, shalom. What's going on? This y'all Mordecai, Zephaniah, Yasha'Allah, coming from Sith Lord Tiger School of Truth. And today's class is Milk Part 2. Touch a little bit on prophecy and a few other little things. These milk classes just I'm not gonna really detail a lot of things out. I'm gonna plant seeds in your mind and give you the proper this basic information that you should be able to comprehend. If you can't comprehend this basic information, you just either you love this kingdom, you know what I mean? You love the so-called white man, Joe, and you got hatred for your brother, for your people. Plain and simple. And first, to give all praises to the Most High and Yahweh Shai to give me the strength and the power and the faith to keep putting in work, trying to be better every day. You know what I mean? You know, to just keep striving for perfection. And, you know, that's what it is. But we about to get into it. Oh, and yesterday, the other class, day before yesterday, supposed to have been up here yesterday to do this class. But I touched on King James. I ain't had my book with me because it was up here. This the book right here to show that King James wasn't no white man. See, it's people studying and researching, man, this information out. Our people don't like to study and research nothing. They just like to repeat what the white man taught. Here go another picture. King James ain't no white man. Or no homosexual. Do that look like a homosexual? Gotta study, man. Can't keep regurgitating, man, with this kingdom, man. So today's class is Milk Part 2. Books I'm reading. King James Version Bible. My Apocrypha. I'm going to go into the layman's Bible encyclopedia today. And I pulled a book out I'm going to touch on called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Our people suffer from that, you know. Not saying they wrong, but yeah, we suffer from that. You know, it's inherent. So let's get started. Let's get started. I'm gonna start it. So I'm touching on the Most High right here. This Hosea 4:1. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of God in the land. So what do the Most High mean about that? It ain't no truth in the land, because people is hooked on this Christian crap. The Bible is not about Christianity. The Bible is about laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And it ain't no truth or who the black Messiah is. They paint him as a white man, a pale-faced devil. You know what I mean? They paint God as Mother Nature, global warming. Man, the Most High control the weather, man. Man don't control nothing. Even it say man's goings is of the Lord. So how can man know his own way? Anything you doing, you being manipulated to a certain end. Basically what it is. You know what I mean? You thinking in your mind, you deviating, you doing this, you doing that, but ultimately you just being guided however you look at it to a certain end. You might make a decision to go this way this time, but ultimately you're gonna wind up going down that path anyway. You might think you got free will because the spirit was telling you to do something, but your flesh, you went and did that. But you're gonna ultimately, whatever was written for you to do, that's what you're gonna wind up doing anyway. So it don't matter what path you go down. And ultimately, the Most High God knows all, man. Let's go to Psalms 49, 1. Psalms 49 and 1. Say it ain't no truth in the land, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 1 and 2. Hear this, all ye people, give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. What did Most High say in the last scripture? He said he got a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. So he telling you right here, hear this, all ye people, give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. So it don't matter what your stature is, how much money you got, how poor you is, where you at in society. The Most High telling you right now to hear this word, man, because it's on and popping. If you know anything about biblical things, anytime the Most High had a controversy with a kingdom, his prophets popped up out of there warning people, and then that kingdom get destroyed. So America being warned now. Everybody getting a warning now all over the world. So you can play around with the Most High God if you want to, man. The God of the heavens and the earth and everything you see. And think, because the white man telling you about Mother Nature and all this garbage, that it ain't no penalty for what you do on this earth. The white man ain't create this earth. Them peoples ain't create nothing that they using now. So how you gonna follow him and believe in how you can tear this earth up? How you can conduct yourself on this earth when it's a manual that tell you how to conduct yourself? You gotta think, man. You know what I mean? Acts 3 and 25. The book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 25. Ye are the children of the prophets and of the covenant which God made with our fathers, saying unto Abraham, and in thy seed shall all the kindreds of the earth be blessed. Talking about the seed off of Isaac and Jacob. The Most High made a covenant with Isaac and Jacob. But what he say? Ye are the children of the prophets. So we the children of the prophets. We still in biblical times now. And we just in a future part of this story. So let's get into it. Since we the children of the prophets. So you seeing the brothers all around the world right now, the Israelites teaching. Them dudes you seeing out there yelling at the top of their voice, standing on the corner with garments on you don't understand. You thinking they looking funny or whatever. Wearing they ancient apparel. Because the Most High waking us up to who we really is. Let's go to Matthew 24 and 14. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and all nations, and then shall the end come. Didn't I just say anytime the Most High had a problem with the kingdom, his prophets taught that word, then that kingdom got destroyed? That's what's happening right now. He just told you right there. Let's go to Nehemiah 8 and 8. Cause it's astonishing how our people is basically retarded. Telling you, our people literally mentally retarded, man. It seems like they normal because they can talk shit and cuss good and bebop and dance and all that, but they got the mind of little kids out here, man. Little children. Nehemiah 8 and 8. So thee read in the book, in the law of God distinctly, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. So that's why the last scripture say the gospel going to be preached throughout the world, four corners of the world. And right here it say, so they, talking about the prophets, read in the book of the law of God distinctly and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. So that's what they out there for y'all to understand what's going on, to teach y'all, to give y'all the heads up. Like you on a block and a brother about to come through there and tear that joint up, but you as peoples though, he mess with you, he pull you to the side, tell you, man, go ahead, roll, man. I'm about to tear this joint up. That's what the prophets out there doing now. Telling y'all, man, heads up. The Most High about to come through. You can think you better than the Most High all you want. He won't get you. Sirach 24 and 3. He baking a cake for the so-called white man that you ain't even gonna be able to believe when you see it, because it's gonna be too late for you if you weren't one of the ones gifted with this merge certificate, this truth. This is a ticket in the door. Sirach chapter 24, verse 33. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. It didn't say, oh, I'm gonna leave it just back then with Moses and them and the other prophet. It's just gonna be for that time. No, it say and leave it to all ages forever. Didn't it just say that? It say, I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. Nah, it's just going to be for a little bit of time. I will pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. Man, the Most High said forever, man. Forever. That means as long as you breathe, as long as the earth still here, the sun, moon, and the stars, everything still staying. You can't get around it. You can pity pat around all you want. You ain't gonna get away from this judgment, man. Let's go to Sirach 1 and 14. And let's go back to Acts 3 and 25. The book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 25. Ye are the children of the prophets. And let's see how we the children of the prophets. When this came, you might be thinking, oh man, you think you just want to grab hold of something. Or you see them brothers doing it, or you want to do it. You bandwagoning, or you jock riding, or you know what I mean, or you just want to sound smart. Let's see why the brothers out there. The book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 14. The book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, meaning to understand the Lord. You gonna fear him too, but that fear mean to understand him. It say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. Man, these whatever brothers that stick to this truth and that's meant to stay in it and go, they was chosen from the womb. Cause it say many are called, but few are chosen. You can be called in as a smokescreen or a stumbling block to other people. Somebody that's in the truth, that's meant to be a test for other Israelites that's really righteous. Because you got a lot of brothers who in this truth for vain glory, for a lot of other little things. I ain't gonna get into all that. But what it say? And it was created with the faithful in the womb. So the brothers that fear the Most High, meaning understand them and you fear them too, you respect, what they say in the street, respect this gangster. It was created in the womb. You was programmed with the invisible information, like it say in Romans 1 and 20. You was programmed with the info. And Sirach, no, Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17. We go to Isaiah 49 and 5. The book of Isaiah chapter 49 verse 5. And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Who is Jacob? The blacks, the Spanish, and Native Indians. Basically descendants of the Negroes, man. The Negroes, basically. And everybody who came off the Negro bloodline. To bring Jacob again to him. We out there to be servants, man, to bring his people back to him. Because we went astray. That's what got us sent over here on slave ships. I'm gonna bring that out in my caps in a part of this series called Captivity. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in his eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. Meaning we ain't gathered yet. He didn't save us yet. But I'm going to be glorious in his eyes, meaning I'm going to do the work. I want the Most High to see me shining, doing his work, going hard for him. And the Most High going to be my strength. I want the Most High to see me carrying out his work like a warrior. And I'm trusting that he going to have my back and keep evil away from me. That's what that scripture's saying. Man. So the brothers be out there teaching and people act like they got a problem with the brothers out there. They don't understand why they out there yelling at the white man. They say, why you cussing out? They ain't cussing. That's just rough language. Cussing if you call somebody an MFer or you say, man, I wish you get hit by a truck or some stuff like that. That's cussing. That's cussing if you do that. Oh, man. Yeah. That's cursing somebody out if you wishing death on them or something foul, like calling them an MF or something. Just saying shit or ass or bit. That ain't them not curse words, man. That's just rough language. You know. Let's go to Jeremiah 28 and 8. And don't understand why the brothers out there teaching, but I just told you, man. In Matthew 24 and 14, it say the gospel going to be preached throughout the world. How it's going to be preached out the world if you don't see nobody teaching it the right way? Whether it's on YouTube, in the streets, some other platform online, you going to see brothers everywhere teaching, man. I be everywhere teaching. I was teaching in the social services building one time. Not too long ago. I had a whole cubicle full of people, the old times in there. He ain't lying. That's right, brother. Yeah, you right. That's right. I had them bringing scriptures to their memory that they knew and all that because I was waking their spurs up. I was in there teaching the system, but everybody that was listening started joining in, agreeing, and it just became a conversation in a cubicle in one of Esau buildings. I don't care, man. I'm going to teach this word wherever I go. I be everywhere teaching, in the line, shopping line, teaching cashier, all that. I don't care. Let's go to Jeremiah 28:8. Because if people think you're supposed to be like Pastor Porkchop in the church, playing the organ, beating the drum, fake healing people and all them lies and all that. If you healing people, then why you ain't going in these hospitals touching people, healing them? So stop lying, man. Yeah, you Pastor Porkchop, man. And any of you fake pastors out there acting like y'all healing people, y'all get the big finger, man. Yeah, man. You. Them lies, man. Got our people caught up in them lies, man. Go to the book of Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and evil and of pestilence, man. So it tell you right there, it say the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old. When it say the prophets that have been before me, it's talking about the prophets from recent past. And before thee of old, the ones from back in the day, and back in so-called biblical times. Because it's biblical times now, we just at the end of the story. You call it a movie, we at the end. The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him. That's what we teaching out there. We teaching peace out there, man, for our people though. Because the scriptures was written, our forefathers wrote this book for us. These other nations, the so-called white man, all that, they took our book, opened it up, and fed us back lies out of the book. And we've been recycling lies from generation to generation to generation to generation. That's why Big Mama got the white Christ on the wall, and we believe in it Christianity. And John 3:16 is the whole Bible. It make the whole Bible null and void. Man, get that garbage out of here, man. Go to Proverbs 20:18. Stuff ridiculous, man. People keep falling for Pastor Porkchop, man. The book of Proverbs chapter. Matter of fact, before I go to that, so I read in Jeremiah 28 that the prophets about war and everything. Because this war, this is a spiritual war. Now we going to see in this book right here, the Layman's Bible Encyclopedia. I got this from a brother Yaquataz from HOIDC, my homie from my hometown. You know what I mean? He was teaching, and, you know, I went and bought me the book. That's how you do. The spirit guides you to information. You got to trust in your spirit. Bought this joint for $5, man. So we going to, I'm going into about prophets. Okay, prophets. I gotta mark this too. I ain't even got my marker right here. I do it. It say the prophets were human beings to whom God made revelations regarding his will for communication to mankind. Come on, man. Even these white scholars that supposed to be so, they know that. They know the truth. They just gonna hide it from you Negroes because you Negroes don't like to read. But these biblical scholars telling you right here. So man ain't write nothing on his own. It say God made revelations regarding his will for communication to mankind. There are apparently two general types of prophets in the Old Testament. The first class are diviners, seers, and cultic preachers and priests. These disappeared largely after the rise of the Israelite monarchy and are replaced by a new type of prophet. Talking about the brothers you seeing now. This latter type has been described variously as literary, reactionary, and revolutionary, man. It is to this type of prophecy that the 16 prophetic books in the Old Testament belong. That's why the prophets in the Old Testament was going the way they was going. It was prophets before them. And ones you don't even know about. They wrote books and all that. The brothers you seeing now is like the prophets from old. We off that same type of teaching. It is to this type of prophecy that the 16 prophetic books in the Old Testament belong. These prophets often form themselves in the guilds. That's why you see the brothers out there standing and teaching and how they got their formations and stuff. It's called a guild. Referred to in the Bible as the sons of the prophets, man. It say Elijah was apparently the chief prophet of such a guild, although the prophets deliver a wide variety of messages. Their major functions can be conveniently narrowed to three. They were king makers and king breakers. The prophets went to kings and told them when the Most High was going to set them up. And they went to kings and told them when the Most High was going to destroy their aims. They are often seen repudiating the kings of Israel. So, if you know what I know, when next time you see one of them brothers out there, better go ask them some questions, man. Let's go to now let's go to Proverbs 20 and 18. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. So the good advice, this the good advice right here. This the good advice. You will go to war when your homie telling you to go to war, or your wicked woman you messing with lie and say a dude hit her or touched her or did something. You ready to run out there with your little gun and wind up getting your head knocked off. But why you can't go to war when the God of the heavens and earth telling you was trying to stand up, Negro, and go to war? He ain't saying go pick up no gun or do nothing. He just saying teach this truth. This truth gonna bring this kingdom down. That's all that's needed. It ain't that hard. It's just this truth. This truth kills. If this kingdom set up on lies, then what's gonna bring it down? The truth. And all the carnal stuff, the warfare and all that, the Most High and the angels gonna take care of that part. So that's why you see the brothers out there, man. Brothers out there fighting for their salvation. You still want to be scared of the white man? scared of this kingdom, so be it. It's on you. Y'all choose what side you on. This ain't no, oh, I'm going to be with the Most High, but then I'm going to be over here with the white man because he gave me a job. You can still work and do everything you've been doing, but you got to keep these commandments too. You can incorporate your commandments the best way you can. Everything being recorded so the Most High know what you can do and what you can't do, like I keep saying. So it ain't too hard to stress about this stuff. Ezekiel 3:8. Let's see what the Most High say be when you out there teaching. The book Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not. The Most High say, fear them not. So when brothers coming up there acting like they tough and like they gonna do something, the Most High say, fear them not. He also said, make your face strong against their face. So when you coming up there mugging and all that, you gonna get mugged back out. Because the Most High ain't waking up no softies, man. He waking up brothers that's, you know, ready to get it in for real, but they can't. They gotta hold back. But the least they gonna do, they not gonna be scared of you. And they gonna teach this word wherever. You know, brothers that got them spurs of the prophets are old. I know they is. You know what I mean? Neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. So, the Most High telling you, man, I don't care how hard you coming up. I seen brothers come up to brothers like, he with the Crips, he with the Bloods. Man, you can take that garbage back where you got it from, man. Ain't nobody tripping off that, man. These fake gangsters, man. I know, Racker, you young as a raggedy, they ain't seen no real drama. Tell you. I grew up in a city full of assassins, man. Real life. So when you fake thugs coming up talking against the prophets, man, that the Most High chose to wake up, you ain't got no win, man. You might, instead of you learning something, kick the pride off of you and learn something, you want to get up there and all this hoopla, man. Let's go to Ezekiel 2:7. It's saying, thou speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbid, for they are most rebellious. So didn't it just say they're a rebellious house? Say, for they are most rebellious, man. Tell it to them whether they going to hear or forbid. Let's go to Jeremiah 6 and 17. Jeremiah 6 and 17. 6 and 17. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. Sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. So, I'm in class. Let me call you back. I thought I put my what's the name on, man. Yeah. Salakia. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. He put watchmen over there to the sound of the trumpet, man. What's the trumpet? These scriptures. What's the watchman? The people that's telling you that danger coming. And the sound of the trumpet is this Bible. But it say they will not hearken. Talking about people that's hard-headed and stiff-necked, man. Let's go to Psalms 144 and 1. The book of Psalms, chapter 144 and 1. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. My goodness and my fortress. Oh. Let me read that in. Oh. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. There you have it. The Most High teaching you how to be a warrior, man, through these scriptures. That's why brothers going like that. Let's go to Isaiah 49 and 2. The book of Isaiah chapter 49 and 2. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand have he hid me. Yeah, Most High got us like a sharp sword you ain't even see coming. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. Meaning you ain't even know what brothers gonna pop up, and now you see them teaching his word. They probably, you don't know who prophets is walking around here. Because all the spirits from back then back on the earth now. You don't know who you is. In the shadow of his hand he hid thee. So that's why brothers popping up out of nowhere teaching, and you like, man, he just was out there in the streets, so he just was, yeah, because the Most High had him in the shadow of his hand. When that got that knife like this, you can't see it coming. Now brothers out there with razor sharp tongues with this word. Jeremiah 5 and 14. I gotta get that YouTube, what's the name, man, so these commercials don't be popping up on my junk, my phone. Say the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore thus said the Lord God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. That's why them people can't handle that out there. That's why they getting their feelings, they getting mad, y'all teaching hate, and all that. Because these words, man, the Most High say, man, ain't gonna make your words in that mouth like a sharp sword, man. Say he gonna make it like fire, man, and make you like a piece of wood. That's how your feelings be when that word hits you. It's like fire burning a log. You that log in a fireplace crackling, man. Let's go to Luke 11 and 21. Luke chapter 11, verse 21. It say, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are at peace. So that's why the brothers going like that, man. Once you out there, you got this word down. You a strong man armed, man, and keepeth his palace, his goods are at peace. What's that palace? The people, man. It's like a 2 or 3-fold scripture, but I'm just going to touch on 1-fold of it. That palace is the people. His goods are, it say, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. So basically, well, you could say the goods are the people are at peace, and the palace is this word, armed keepeth his palace. Right. We fighting, we contending for this faith, for this truth. You know what I mean? This the palace right here, this word. The faith for the Most High. The truth for the Most High is the palace we fighting. We the strong man guarding it. And the goods are in peace is the people that get this word. We make sure get the word in our nation. Our nation is the goods. Gonna be at peace when the strong man that's on, you know, bring them into that palace. They gonna be at peace, man. They gonna be safe. Like you got stuff stored away in your basement in the house, them goods, and it's safe. That's how the people gonna be when they come into this truth, this palace. They gonna be safe, man. Cause that's how we gonna treat them. Cause they belong to the Yahushua, who they call Jesus Christ and the Most High. They goods that belong to them. We out here to retrieve them goods and bring them back into the palace and put them up like a stage. Yeah. Now we gonna get on judging. So a lot of people, they got a problem. Oh, you can't judge me, you judging and all that. We gonna see what the Most High say about judging. I can get real technical, but like, you know, class be all day. I'm at 41 minutes now. Proverbs 31. And 9. Hold up. Sloppy. So they can't judge. So they saying we can't judge, forget about it. It's back in the day, it's all that. Why y'all still worrying about that and all that? This was the Most High said. That's why we out there judging, because the Most High told us to do this. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Nah, this consider the years of 100 generations. 100 years ago. This consider the generations from 1,000 years ago. Just consider the generations from 10 years ago. He said from many generations. Nah, don't think about that stuff back then. Just think about civil rights movement. Just think about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King era. Consider the years of many generations. Remember the days of old. Nah, we just gonna think about Trayvon Martin, what's his name, and all that. What's going on now? Most I say, man, think about back then too. Cause it say ain't nothing new under the sun. So what's going on now is going on back then. He tells us to think, remember to think on that stuff too. Back then. Basically, don't forget about your people, man. Don't forget about the past. Like people be trying to tell you to do, because they wicked and try to sweep our history up under the rug. These Edomites, the so-called white man, we been beefing with them since we was in our mother womb together, man. That's our evil twin. That's what our people don't understand. That's our evil twin, man. But that's something else. But you know, that's another class. Now, he told us remember the days of old. Now let's see what he's telling us to do when we remember the days of old. The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 9. It say, open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause to the poor and the needy. Open thy mouth, judge righteously. Nah, close your mouth and don't judge at all. Nah, be timid and scared to say something about these devils keep killing your people. Open thy mouth and judge righteously, man. You can't get around that. Let's go to Zechariah 7:9. Say, remember the days of old. Book of Zechariah, chapter 7, verse 9. It say, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. Now let's go to Hebrews 5:2. The book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out the way, for that he himself also is compassed with infirmities. So that's why the Most High raising up brothers that been in the streets, brothers that been through a lot of stuff in their life and all that. You're not seeing no Pastor Pork Chop type dudes out here, man. These choir boys and all that, because they ain't been through nothing. They been mama's boys, they in silver spoons. They can't teach nobody nothing. They ain't been through nothing. Like teaching up soldiers, man. And when you do that, Proverbs 31:9, open thy mouth and judge righteously, man. Plead the cause of the poor and the needy. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 6:6. 1 Corinthians 6, 1 through 3. It say, dare any of you have a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust, and not before the saints. So we out there judging. I ain't out there judging another righteous brother that ain't breaking the commandments. We out there judging the unjust. It say, go to the law before the unjust. People that we see ain't keeping the commandments. That's why you see brothers teaching, and when somebody walk past, it seems like they harassing them, but they ain't harassing them. They just trying to save their life. Most I say, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints. So I see a brother got his fringes on. I can tell he in the spirit, whatever. I ain't got nothing to say to him. I got something to say to you that's being wicked. That's of my people, though. Let's go to Sirach 20:2. The book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 2. It say, it is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly, and he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt. So it's telling you right there, it's better to tell our people they faults and to be wrong than sit back and be, look at that wicked ass nigga, man. Look, she wicked, she whored out and all that, but you ain't gonna say nothing to her. And he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt. And people, when the brothers out there teaching, they got humble spirits. They want, they want to listen. They want to say, yeah, I ain't, when that brother say, what commandments you keeping or whatever, man, I ain't keeping no commandments, man. Tell me what I need to be doing. I know I've been going off. Instead of barking and scoffing because you think you know something, but you don't know nothing. You being wicked as I don't know what and don't even know it. Instead of just humbling your spirit down. And he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt. He that humble down and receive his truth, your ass ain't going to be caught up in the destruction. Let's go to Proverbs 27:5. The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So when you see the brothers out there addressing you openly, it say open rebuke is better than secret love. That secret love don't really mean love. It means secret. That love meaning I'm talking about you behind your back. You know what I mean? I got something to say about you behind your back. That's what that means. Instead of me saying, hey, sister, you know you ain't supposed to be wearing pants. Or, sister, let me holler at you to address you. I sit back and later on, man, you seen that sister today, man? She need to be ashamed of herself walking out there like that. Nah. Rebuke you openly. It's for your own good. Let's go to Ephesians 4 and 29. I did the class backwards today. I normally start out teaching and then the music, but my video's on the back end. So I'm going to silence the class up when I get on the back end. The videos. The book of Ephesians chapter 4 and 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So that's all the brothers out there trying to do, man. No matter how you feel like they talking and this, that, and the third, they trying to give you grace, man. You know, they trying to pull you in. That's not no corrupt communication to tell you that God pissed off at you and what you need to do to get back right with him. What's corrupt about that? Because the scripture tell you, though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge. So you might don't like my delivery, but what I'm telling you is the truth. Second Corinthians chapter 11, verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So I might seem rude and all that, but I can answer all your questions. I can give you the light that you're looking for. Because in Sunday church, Pastor Porkchop ain't never teach you nothing out this Bible. Any questions you ever had and all that, the brothers can open your eyes, waking you up to what's really going on. Them pastors' job to keep you asleep and to get your money and to hold your women out. Man, I chop Pastor Porkchop head off, man. If it was up to me, but it ain't up to me. You know what I mean? I'm doing the Most High will, not my own will. But if it was up to me, Pastor Porkchop and them would be dead, man. Let's go to Sirach 9 and 18. Because people got the brothers mixed up, thinking somebody ain't got the right to say something to them, and you thinking because you go to church on Sunday beating your feet like you at the go-go, you done learned something. Pastor Porkchop ain't taught you no breakdown of no scriptures, but John 3:16, and you think that's the whole Bible. When you go out there with the brothers and you see they'll chop you up for trying to pull John 3:16, you get in your feelings, get mad, you looking ugly now because they done chopped you up. What it say? The words in my mouth like fire, and they should be like wood. You that piece of crackling wood in a fireplace, and you heat it. The book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 18. And a man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in talk shall be hated. So, a man of an ill tongue. A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city. Yeah, ill tongue. That's talking about brothers out there splitting gossip, always want to talk trash, want to manipulate and start stuff, getting in business that don't concern me, keeping stuff stirred up. That's an ill tongue. Always talking bad about somebody, wishing death, wishing danger on somebody. That's an ill tongue. Let's go to Sirach 3:24. And we're going to touch on feelings now. People feelings is out there. It say, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. An evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. Right. Our people, they got their own, they deceived by their own vain opinion. John 3:16, the whole Bible. My pastor, he said. He ain't teaching you how to keep no commandments. And I'm going to bring out in this series, I'm going to bring out one class about these pastors. I'm going to chop them up and show you how your pastors is nothing. They like the gum on the bottom of my shoe, man. And the Most High said he going to burn their ass up. Most High say I haven't sent these prophets, man. Talking about them Joel Osteen, T.D. Snakes, Eddie Long, and all of them. All of them. All they about is about money, man. People ain't about raising their people up, man. Go to 1 Thessalonians 5:20. This shit ridiculous, man. Our people been falling for this. Man, them preachers, man, ain't nothing but a Ponzi scheme, man. Christianity is the biggest Ponzi scheme on earth, man. People need to be getting put to death for that Christianity, man. Got our grandmas in there jumping around, beating their feet. Boy, Most High put that power on us, man. I don't even care if I ain't even one of the ones. Long as I can see it go down. I care, but I don't care. I just want to see it go down. Take you on that note. That's how bad I want to see some payback for what's been happening to our people, man. Any Negro out there don't care about your own people, man. You's a sellout, man. Yeah, you's a sellout. You come across this video, you got something to say. You's a sellout, man. That's how I got them fingers down on my videos from a sister I rebuked about her blonde hair. With the foul mouth. I chopped her up, though. Proverbs, 1 Thessalonians 5:20. It say, despise not prophesying. You can't despise them brothers out there teaching the Most High word, man. Because Pastor Porchop ain't teaching it. He giving you conversation. And letting you dance and feel good. And shuckle buck and all that. And you ain't learned nothing. You ain't come closer to your God like you thinking you is. Most High don't care about you jumping around, man. He wants you to keep these commandments. You can jump around, do backflips and all that all you want to, man. He don't care about none of that. What it say? The Lord don't dwell in temples made with hands. He don't even dwell in them churches, man. Because they about lies. Tell you. Proverbs 13:13. The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Right. What I said a while few scriptures back. Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Tell you, man, tell you right there. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 7:20. I'm already at an eye. That's why I ain't gonna break down everything. Some stuff is just self-explanatory. 2nd Ezra chapter 7. Verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them. Yeah. Ragged people that hate the Most High, man, they die. They wind up catching AIDS, getting killed because they want to be a fake gangster, or you catch AIDS from trying to be a whore or homosexual. You know what I mean? Or you have a tragic death because you think you this rich man. You wind up dying in a plane crash in your private jet. You know what I mean? You be in a horrific accident. You going cliff, what it's called when they jumping out of planes and all that, hang gliding, all that stuff, mountain climbing and all that them rich people do. They be dying. Hey, Most High got ways to get you when you least expect it. Let's go to Psalms 19:7. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. It say the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making the wise simple. Making the wise simple, man. All these fake wise men out here, man, these scriptures chop they butt up, man. Make them look simple, man. Converting the soul, man. And on another note, brothers that's in the truth. You probably was smart out there in the world. You thought you was, and then you get this truth. You like, oh, man, I ain't know nothing. Making the wise simple. Now, let's get on voice. So, people out there, they want to, y'all loud, y'all aggressive, y'all, man, first of all, people need to get out their head that the Most High, this Bible, man, ain't a God of war. And our people, the Negroes, we a nation of warriors, man. You gotta get that weak stuff out your head. Christ wasn't no softy, man. They got Christ painted like a sucker. Christ was a, man, I'm telling you, he coming back to kill, man. He coming back to pat you on the back for being gay, being wicked. And you was, I went to church every Sunday. Christ say, man, in Luke 19, he say those that basically that thought I shouldn't reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Christ said, slay them before me. Where this soft, effeminate beach bum Christ at? Because he said, slay them before me. He talking about killing people, man, who ain't trying to follow his father's word right here. Tell you. Let's go to Isaiah 58:1. Y'all loud. Y'all disrespectful. Because, you know, Negroes don't like to be checked. You know what I mean? Unless there's some money involved, and they'd be quiet as a mug and listen and take all the shit off you they want. They listen to their boss chastising them. They don't want to lose their job. I don't want to hear that, man. It say, cry loud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet, like a trumpet. Nah, it say, speak soft and spare feelings. Lift up your voice like a mouse. Nah, it say, cry loud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet, man. Go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 10. Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 10. There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world, and none of them without significance. So, therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, okay, verse 10. There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world, and none of them without significance. So you're going to have brothers that speak smooth, brothers that got raspy voices, brothers that got regular, even voices, brothers that talk loud, brothers that, you know what I mean? It's different voices, man. But all of them significant to this truth. Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian, and he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me. So you looking at the brothers out there teaching, talking loud like barbarians, man. And he looking at you like a barbarian because you don't know what you talking about. You yelling, you getting offended, talking loud against him. Well, he just trying to give you some correction from the Most High. Verse 12. Even so ye, forasmuch as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edification of the church. So these voices are gifts. Like me, I got a raspy, loud voice like a lion. My natural voice is loud. You know what I mean? That's my gift. And I use that gift, and it's attractive. And I use that gift to bring people in. You know what I mean? I can switch it up too, but my natural, you know what I mean? My staple voice, you know, my default voice is I'm coming off like a lion. If I'm out there teaching, you know what I mean? But in the classroom, my natural regular voice still got a little bit of impact to it. But that's a gift, let's say spiritual gifts. Because you use that voice to pull people into truth. You know, just like in the music. You listen to some rap, most rappers because of their voice. Some better, he might not be a better lyricist than him, but he got a better voice. And you like hearing his voice. So that keep you buying his music. Same thing with this truth, man. These voices are valid too. Let's go to Ephesians 4 and 29. Book of Ephesians 4 and 29. Book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out your mouth. So, like I said before, it ain't no corrupt communication, man, correcting your people, telling them, man. That ain't no corrupt. If I tell you, man, it's okay, man, you can smoke and come back next week and get the word. That's corrupt communication. Or if I tell you, man, you better shut the F up before I come from behind here and beat you up. That's corrupt communication. If I'm just telling you, no, the Most High don't like this or like that, and I go in the scriptures and show you, and I'm speaking like a man, not like a faggot or a sissy, that ain't no corrupt communication. Let's go to Psalms 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my mind, heart, it say of my heart, heart means mind, be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my mind be acceptable in thy sight. So the brothers ain't out there saying nothing that's going to offend the Most High, man. You think brothers gonna be out there getting loud if in the scriptures it tell them to talk like Joel Osteen? Gotta use common sense. Think brothers gonna be going through all that, reading and know all these breakdowns and all that, but they miss the breakdown about how to teach out there, the level of your voice and all that. Tell you to lift up thy voice like a trumpet, not lift up thy voice like a mouse. Let's go to first Maccabees. No, let's go to Sirach 42 and 8. The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish and extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living. Let's break it down. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish. People that don't understand this truth. And that's basically fools out there, but just don't know it. They don't know they speaking foolish or they being a fool. Because they don't understand what the Most High consider being a fool. And the extreme age, basically, if you speaking anything philosophy and about any of these other religions and all that, you's a fool, man. All this man wisdom and all that. If you ain't speaking the knowledge of the Most High, you's a fool. I had to clarify that. It's in the extreme age, talking about older people too. You might don't want to say nothing to somebody older than you because they older than you. It's an extreme age that contended with those that are young. Older people that say, boy, I've been knowing about the civil rights movement before you was born, or I've been knowing about God before you was born, or I've been in the church before you was born. Or what are you talking about? I'm older than man. I'm 20 years older than you. You can't teach me nothing. It say, don't be ashamed to rebuke their ass. That's what it say. Don't care about how old you is. If you ain't living by this truth, the brothers got the right to rebuke you. And they always trying to talk trash to people that's younger than them. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living. So, man, the brothers that's teaching this word, we truly learn, man, and approve to all man living. Because can't no man on earth come up against the Most High prophets without getting a sword to their neck spiritually. Because any little doctrine, all these little fake understandings and all that you try and come with, man, we going to chop that up, man. Ain't nobody, man, we read books, man. We read. That's why we reading all these books, man. We ain't reading for nothing. And all the stuff we've been through in this kingdom, man. Man, you gonna get your doctrine chopped up, man. That's why I say that. And be approved of all men living, man. Because ain't no man on earth, these Pastor Porkchop, Joel Osteen, can't none of these preachers face the Israelites, man. You can't. Because the Most High ain't ordained you to understand his word. Only the Israelites, man. The Negroes and the descendants from the Negroes. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that's teaching his word the right way, man. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7:25. Ecclesiastes 7:25. It say, I applied my heart to know and to search and seek out wisdom. Man, we applying our mind, man, to this truth, man. We searching and seeking out this truth, man. Brothers reading 1,000,000 books, studying everything. Any doctrine, everything out there, we breaking down, studying, and dissecting, man. We ain't leaving no stone unturned, man. The Most High done unleashed his prophets on this earth to bring his word out. If you like it, hear it or not. It don't matter, man. We chopping up everything, man. Because the Most High commanding us to do so, man. Because if you leave it up to some brothers, they'll just kill you and get it over with. Yeah. But we commanded to study, to show ourselves approved, and have an answer for every question. So you can send anybody up there, they're gonna get chopped up. Guaranteed. And the reason of things. We read that back. The book, it say, I applied my heart, my mind to know, and to search and seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly and even of foolishness and madness. So we know about people and their foolishness and what's madness, you know, what the Most High consider foolishness and madness and wicked. And folly meaning acting stupid. And the reason of things, man. We studying, we want to know the reason of a thing. They don't care what it is. We want to know what make it operate and tick, man, like engineers do. We engineers of this Bible. The Most High prophets are engineers of these scriptures, man. No matter what level they on, a brother that's new in this truth like 6 months got enough know-how to break down a pastor that been a pastor for 30 years. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 8. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 8. It say, for honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by numbers of years. So, it don't matter how old you is. It say, for honorable age is not that which standeth in the length of time. I mean, it don't matter. You're not smart just because you old. You're not considered honorable to the Most High because you old. You just an old fool. Nor that is measured by numbers of years. Wisdom is not measured on how old you is. It's measured on what you actually know. Let's go to Isaiah 49 and 6. It say, Isaiah 49 and 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and restore the preserved of Israel. Most I say it's a light thing, man. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob. Yeah, you ain't supposed to be complaining and whining. That's how we taking it. This light. Like me, it's just light to me. Dealing with my people and all that. It's tiresome, but it's like I've been dealing with Negroes forever out here. It's a light thing, man, that we the Most High serve. That's how we supposed to be current. And raise up the tribes of Jacob, some of the 12 tribes of Israel, and to restore the preserved of Israel, to wake up the elect, the ones that's going to be the teachers in the new kingdom, the rulers in the new kingdom. So it's a light thing for us to go out there to do this work, to do that job for the Most High. Would the Most High say, who gonna stand up for me? I done gave y'all a whole earth and all that. Y'all messed that up. Now I'm trying to give y'all a chance to come back. Now who gonna step up and admit they was wrong and battle for me now? Because I got a problem with peoples on this planet. We gonna see who we got a problem with. So I went to that part. All right. Now we're gonna go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 15. It say, but it shall come to pass. Now I'm touching on the curses. Few little curses that we got. We getting into the prophecy part. I just touched on the prophets and why they out there, why they act the way they act, and certain things about the prophets. You know what I mean? Just touching on some things. Now I'm touching on a few little things that's going on that should register with you. The book of Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It say, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt now hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Ain't we cursed in every city in the United States? Our people at the bottom. Everywhere you go in any country, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Ain't we, when we cursing the cotton field, the rice field, sugarcane field, we even cursing the work field. The last hide, first five, any field you can think of, the football field, brothers getting brain injuries, getting broke up, trying to make some money to support their family. Gotta be part of this, these elites and this satanic stuff and all that. To be part of one of them fields, baseball field, basketball field. There's a lot to come with that stuff. We curse, man, because we ain't want to keep these commandments. Cursed shall thou be thy basket and thy store. That basket mean we ain't got no warehouses. We ain't got nothing put up as a nation. White man, they got stuff everywhere. They got, I seen a John O'Mara Marvels, how all these big corporations, Giant, Safeway, all these Walmart, they got underground storage facilities, man, miles down in the ground, like miles long underneath the ground. Miles and miles of storage facilities where they store stuff at underground. We ain't got nothing. We ain't even got a corner store no more. You used to see corner stores and stuff like that, mom and pop jumps. We ain't even got that. You got Ishmael and Elam, the East Indians, Quickie Mart, 7-Eleven mans. You got them, got the corner stores and the gas stations, working in them too. We ain't got nothing. Let's go to another curse. Something you should register with you. I'm just touching on little light stuff that should wake your memory up, or should just identify with you enough to be like, you know what, man, that brother Jai right. He making some sense. That's why this or that happened. Let's go to Zechariah 11:5. Whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. So now we about to go to videos and see what oppressors, who oppressors slay who and hold themselves not guilty. Don't the so-called white man oppress us, man? I ain't even gotta break that down. You live in this Negro in this society, Hispanic or whatever, Native Indian, We've been being oppressed since they came over here, man. And when he brought the other the Negroes over here. There's just been oppression going on. Even the animals oppressed. And the insects with the pesticides and all that. You got all the animals in zoos. The plants being oppressed because you cutting, you building, and you limited they grow space. They got to grow in little small areas, growing on top of each other. Everything is being oppressed here. Even the air being oppressed with all these chemicals and all that because it's a spirit and everything. This whole earth is a living organism. Everything got to function the way the Most High created it to function, or it's going to stall and you're going to start seeing mishaps and stuff happening in nature. They trying to say global warming, and no, it's the earth rebelling against this kingdom. The earth alive too. The earth rebelling, man, because he see the Israelites waking up and preaching of God's word. The Most High say he used the weather and everything for his weapons, man. The earth under his control too. The stars, the moon, everything work for the Most High, man. Even man. You just don't know it on that. When you talk properly and you in the spirit, you understand everything is controlled by the Most High. Everything got a purpose, and everything that is living. Everything that was created that you call nature or whatever, it's alive. It got spirit in it. Let's go to first video.
This is Center Street North, the dividing line, the racial dividing line of Birmingham, Alabama.
Our oppressors slay us and hold us not guilty.
Whose home was bombed 3 different times during the 60s.
Jeff Drew cannot forget what life was like living in the segregated South of the 1960s.
And I was laying on the floor watching the TV, and the next moment, me and the TV are at the ceiling. It had literally blown us both off the floor.
You hear that? And ain't nothing happened. What I say, our oppressors slay us and hold us not guilty. Now let's see literally.
Charges in connection to the death of Freddie Gray, Lieutenant Brian Rice. He was the highest ranking officer on the scene that day that Mr. Gray was arrested, was injured in that van, and then later died from his injuries. He was charged with several things, but was found not guilty on
You hear that? He was found not guilty on several things, man. I ain't finished.
On Wednesday, a white Oklahoma police officer who fatally shot an unarmed black man last year was found not guilty of first-degree manslaughter. Jurors acquitted Tulsa officer Betty Jo Shelby. On September 16th, she shot and killed 40-year-old Terrence Crutcher. Shelby said she fired her weapon out of fear. She said Crutcher did not obey her commands to lie on the ground and appeared to reach inside his SUV for what she thought was a gun. Crutcher was unarmed. Prosecutors called Shelby overreactive. Partly confirmed by police dashcam video, they noted Crutcher had his hands in the air and wasn't combative. Helicopter video showed Crutcher walking away from Shelby, hands held above his head.
You hear that? She still got found not guilty.
That the state has failed to meet its burden on all charges. Therefore, there is a finding of not guilty as to every count and each defendant of conspiracy, official misconduct, and obstruction of justice.
See that? See that?
After the shots were fired. So, yet again, here we have another officer.
Look at this.
All right, and we back on the forecast. So, yet another brother in D.C. a brother by the name of Terrence Sterling was shot and killed by the police. And yet again, the police are not charged with murdering this man. And the sad thing is, in America, you would never run out of these stories. So let's see what happened with my brother Terrence Sterling up in D.C.
Look, see him laying there, dead on the street. White nigga shot him in the head, man. They kept trying to make him crash. He coming from work, man. This ain't no hustle or none of that. It was a working brother. See that? This ain't no fake news or nothing. Look at that, man.
Clear. Let me get the TCC response. 428. 101.
Shot that man for nothing, man.
I don't know where my... 428. The 300 north, 300 north. 36, clear. Use about 58, 428 hours.
Look, see the blood coming from under his helmet? What is he trying to get? You done shot the man in the head. You want to go get some goddamn band-aids and some gauze, and you need to be kicked in your ass before you get your head chopped off, man. Look at this shit, man. I'm playing this to let this sink in. Man already dead. What is you doing CPR for? You shot the man in the head, man. What is you pushing on this? You making the blood pump out of him quicker. You hear Eve in the background? That's why, man, I'm not gonna have no remorse and problem, man. When it's time to put that work in. The most I put it on our spirit to put that work in, man, I'm gonna be glad. I'm gonna be pressed to do it. Look at you, nigga. Man, that man dead, man. Coon ass nigga out there. The white nigga shot him though. But now it's Jake out there. Look at me like, come on, man. He shot that man in the head. The fuck? My bad, Salakia, but you don't be pissing me off, man, when I look at this stuff, man.
Keep looking at me, buddy. Keep looking at me. Keep looking at me. Keep looking at me, buddy. Keep looking at me, all right? Just keep looking at me.
Look at this bull crap, man.
Keep looking at me. Keep looking at me.
Look at him, man. Man, gone.
Keep looking at me. Keep looking at me, buddy. Keep looking at me. Look at me. Open them up. There you go.
Man, I ain't trying to hear all that, man.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Man, that's enough of that. I ain't even gonna play the whole joint. It's a few more minutes left. Go to the end of it, where I was gonna stop it at.
Quote unquote insufficient evidence. Now, we could just look at the fact of how they treat these black judges and black attorneys for not having all-white juries or not wanting the death penalty, but they don't say a word to these attorneys who decide not to press charges on these police officers. They don't want to boycott them. They don't take their power away, but they do take away the power of judges who say no.
See that?
This is a big breaking story tonight, and we are all over it. The D.C. police officer who shot and killed Terrence Sterling is Brian Traynor. The U.S. attorney cleared him from any possible criminal charges. Tonight, the mayor has asked for Officer Traynor's resignation. No word yet on whether he'll offer it. We've done a lot of deep reporting on Terrence Sterling.
Hear that, man? What the scripture say? Our whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, man. I ain't even gotta say no more. Now let's get into a prophecy. Let's go to Joel. Something slight. You should have seen happen. That done happened recently. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 30. It say, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Let's go to Acts chapter 2, verse 20. So the Acts chapter 2, verse 20. And I will show wonders in the heaven above, the signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire, vapors of smoke. I was in the Old Testament of Joel, and this is the new covenant. New Testament, new covenant. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord. Say the moon into blood, the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood. How the sun be turned into darkness? During an eclipse. And the moon turn into blood at the same time. A red event. Say before the terrible and notable day of the Lord. It say, and I beheld, this Revelation 6 and verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Tell you right there in Revelations. Right there. So we're going to see what that's talking about. The sun being turned dark and the moon into blood. I'm just touching on basic stuff that should make you think about stuff.
A super wolf blood moon is coming January 20th, along with a total eclipse that will last over an hour.
At the moon and its orbit around super blood moon total eclipse. It's happening.
Super blood wolf moon eclipse. Whew. Gotta get it all out in one breath.
Hear that? So I'm just touching on how this stuff is actually happening. Now let's go to Zechariah 13 and 8. We're going to touch on, now this say before the great and terrible day, but now we're going to see what some of these punishments going to be passed out. Because our people think they just going to skate free. Ain't nothing going to happen to them for breaking the Most High commandments. This the end of the movie, man. Everything you done learned and read in the Bible. The whole story of this book. We at the end. We in Revelation right now. Let's go to 13, Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. 2/3 of our people gonna die, man. Because they want to be wicked. They ain't trying to separate spiritually from the so-called white man. This kingdom, basically. This is the virgin daughter of Babylon. It ain't nothing but confusion here. People don't even know what gender they is. You know what I mean? People don't know what culture they don't. All the cultures mixed together. All these fake religions mixed together. Everything is mixed together and scrambled up. Cause confusion, man. Let's go to John 14:15. Let's see why the Most High say 2/3 of our people gonna be cut off and die. Let's see why. Because it say John 14, chapter 14, verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Right there, the Most High say, if you love me, keep my commandments. This Christ talking right here. Because the Most High gave him the Israelites. You know what I mean? The teaching, the rule. You know what I mean? You know, he gave Christ is the right hand of the Most High. That's him talking right. If you love me, keep my commandments. Pastor Porchop ain't telling you to keep no commandments. Let's go to Amos. Let's go to Sirach 4:25. Say, if you love me, keep my commandments. The book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 25. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of thy ignorance. So, don't speak against the truth. Learn how you can keep the commandments, man. You know what I mean? In no wise speak against the truth. And none of that fake ass wisdom you think you coming with. Don't speak against the truth. Those it. Ask them brothers how can you keep the commandments, man? Now let's go to Amos 9 and 10. So it say 2/3 of people gonna die and be cut off. The book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 10. All sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Telling you, man. Say all sinners of my people shall die. So the Most High telling you right there, man, if you caught up in that, when this destruction come, you gonna die, man. You gonna be, even you might die before then. You might not even make it that far. You real young, real old, or you young and you get caught up out here wilding or whatever. But the Most High guaranteeing you that, though. Guaranteeing you that. Let's go to Malachi 4:1. He say, all my sinners of my people shall die. Let's see how they gonna die. The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Tell you, man, it don't matter. You're going to be burnt to dust. When them missiles hit, don't care where you try to hide at, man. If you ain't got the protection of the Most High, you get beamed up in the chariots, what they call UFOs, your ass is grass. Plain and simple. Now let's go to Baruch 4:1. Say you gonna burn them up. Little video. Let's see how it's gonna burn you up and leave neither root nor branch. Let's see. This from that movie Terminator. She went to sleep and had a dream. You know they always put truth in these movies. This lines up with the scriptures. Nuclear warhead hit that quick. Gamma rays coming out that joint. Look. They're gonna burn as an oven. Gonna burn them up. The day cometh that shall burn like an oven, man. That's how it's gonna burn like an oven. See that? No root, no branch. Ain't nothing gonna be standing, man. That blast, man. Turn their ass to dust. Now she standing on her feet. Tell you, man, it's not a game. That's what happened when them nukes hit. Let's go to Baruch 4:1. Let's see why. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Like I said, if you ain't keeping these commandments, man, when shit go down, you gonna be looking like Sir Khan and them on that video I just showed you. Now let's go into some of these few of these prophecies. Let's go to back to Joel. We at the end now. The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. It say, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in the land. And what it say? See that right there? Let me read this. It say, and it shall come to pass in that day, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. There you go right there. But Judah shall dwell whatever. You see that? Judah, man. Right there. We Judah. Edom is the so-called white man, and the Egyptians is the Africans. You see how Egypt look now? That joint a desert. Most High keep his promises, man. That joint a desert. Let's go to read it again. and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Talking about the so-called white man, man. That's their biblical name, Edom, meaning red. Let's go to Ezekiel 25 and 14. Book of Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14.
You need the right kind of power to get
Ezekiel chapter 25. Book of Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. It said, and I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God. Telling you right there, the Most High got a problem with Edom, man. The Edomites. That's their biblical name, the Edomites, all the way back in Genesis. I'm going to get on that stuff further down in the series, but I'm just leaving you little clues for you come across the video so you can go do some research on your own. Go to Malachi 1 and 4. So we said Edom, right? Their biblical name is Edom or Esau. As a nation, they call Edom. Or you can call him Esau too, but Esau was the progenitor. He was the one that all of them came off of. Let's go to Malachi 4 and 1. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Let's go back. Malachi 1 and 3. It say, and I hated Esau. Most I say he hated Esau, man. He hate them people. He just used them to be his villain on the earth. Let's go to Romans in the New Testament, the New Covenant. Because ain't no New Testament. Christ ain't come and get no new nothing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the new covenant. We had an old contract with the Most High, and we had a new contract with the Most High. The Bible written in code. Slang and code and mystery. You ain't got no understanding. It ain't meant for you. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Jacob is the 12 tribes of Israel, man. The Negroes, man. People that come off the Negroes. But Esau have I hated. So now you got to ask yourself, research who was Jacob and who was Esau. I got a book right there, Who's Who in the Bible. Tell you Jacob and Esau, but I'm almost at 2 hours. I'm about to cut this class. Now, the Most High say he hate them peoples, right? Now let's see what he tell us to do. The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right. When you got rust, formal iron, it get worse. It be a little spot of rust. It say, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. White man get more vicious as time went on. They got worse. Just like rust. It started from a lower spot, then it get worse. White man had a little bit of technology. And he keep building more guns, more guns, more guns, and doing more wickedness, more wickedness, more wickedness. He get worse and worse as he learning more secrets or learning how to invent more wicked devices. He's getting even more wicked. Let's go to Sirach 6:13. It say, separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed to thy friends. What it say? Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed to thy friends. Would your friends do this to you? Your friends do that to you? That's your friend that did that? Look at him right there. That's your friend that did that to you? Them all Negroes, man. Take heed to thy friends and separate from thy enemies, man. Means spiritually separate them, because obviously we still live on this continent, this landmass. But it's saying separate spiritually. Stop supporting these holidays, these wicked holidays, and supporting the economy, man. Your friends will do that to you. Separate from thy enemies and take heed to thy friends. So they try to say, oh, that was back then or whatever. See the dates on that? Let's see if I can get it clear. See that? 2016, man. Now let me go to page 95. I'm going to end this off with a book, reading out the book. Page 95. This is the book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. It say, this by a ex-slave named Henry Beard from 1849. It say, who can imagine that could be the feeling of a father and mother when looking upon their infant child whipped and tortured with impunity and placed in a situation where they could afford no protection. But we were all claimed and held as property. The father and the mother were slaves. I was compelled to stand and see my wife shamefully scourged and abused by her master. And the manner in which this was done was so violently and inhumanly committed upon the person of a female that I despaired in finding decent language to describe the bloody act of cruelty. My happiness of pleasure was then all blasted, for it was sometimes a pleasure to be with my family even in slavery. I loved them as my wife and child. Little Frances was a pretty child. She was quiet, playful, and bright. Interesting, but I could never look upon the dear child without being filled with sorrow and fearful apprehensions of being separated by slaveholders. Ain't even got going on the rest of that, man. What it say? Separate from thy enemies and take heed to thy friends. So anybody talking about this book of Deuteronomy 32:7. Oh, that was back then. That was back in the day. Why y'all still tripping off that? Man, we ain't listening to what man say. We listen to what the Most High say. That's what we listening to. We tired of what these retarded people talking out here. We listening to what our God actually telling us to do. Not what past the pork chop and Esau, the so-called white man, telling us to do. The book of 32, Deuteronomy 32:7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. The elders are the brothers out there teaching this word, man. Teaching this word. And on that note, This y'all Mordecai, Zephaniah, Yasha'Allah from Sixth Floor Tiger School of Truth. All praises to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom. What's going on? Stick together, y'all.